Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Today I'm going to recap Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Lightning and the Rangers and look ahead to Game 2 between the Avs and the Oilers. We will pick Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Warriors. We'll go over yesterday's Major League Baseball WNBA, look ahead to today's. Then we'll do French Open. We'll do the Memorial Tournament, my latest NBA mock draft, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. We're starting with the Stanley Cup playoffs, the conference finals. Game 1 of the East was last night, and the Rangers come out on top by a score of 6-2 to take a 1-0 series lead. I thought that was their most impressive performance of the entire playoffs, bar none. They've had some good ones, but there's none better than this one. Number 3 started game with the goal and assist because of Zibanejad. Number 2 started game with the goal and assist. Frank Petrano. Number 1 started the game with 2 goals. Filipino. Now, tonight, 8 o'clock TNT of the Oilers and the Avalanche. Colorado looking to go up 2-0 in the series. Hopefully Darcy Kemper will be back for them. They're minus 178 tonight. Edmonton is plus 146. Over under 7.5. Over is plus 104. Under is minus 128. Edmonton plus 1.5 is minus 150. Colorado minus 1.5 is plus 125. I'm going with the over. And it's because Edmonton and Colorado games tend to be going over these whole playoffs. So, I'm taking the over. And it's uncertain whether Darcy Kemper will be back or not. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight. Also tonight is a very big night. It is Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Warriors. Golden State is a 4.5-point favorite. Total of 216 and a quarter by my numbers. But it is 4 and 212.5. I know the Celtics have been an under team a lot in the playoffs, and so has Golden State. But I could see somebody getting hot from 3 to potentially go over the total. So I'm going to take the over, and I did say Celtics in 6, but I think Golden State will win Game 1. Both teams have had some good rest amounts, but the case against Golden State is what we saw with the Lightning last night, that the rest could hurt them. But I do like Golden State at home tonight to win Game 1, but like I said, I think Celtics win the series. All right, now I'll move on to Major League Baseball. We will go over the games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. Guardians over the Royals 4-0. Mets over the Nats 5-0. Cards over the Padres 5-2. Doubleheader Game 1. Marlins over the Rockies 14-1. Astros over the A's 5-4. Braves over the D-backs 6-0. Phils over the Giants 6-5. Doubleheader Game 2. Rockies over the Marlins 13-12 in 10 innings on a walk-off home run by Brendan Rodgers. Orioles over the Mariners 9-2. Blue Jays over the White Sox 7-3. Red Sox over the Reds 7-1. So best bet comes through. Tigers over the Twins 5-0. Cubs over the Brewers 4-3 and 10 on a walk-off sac fly by rookie Christopher Morel. Rays over the Rangers 4-3 and 11. Pirates over the Dodgers 8-4. Wow. And Angels Yankees postponed. They'll play 2 today. And that is the first game of the day at 1 o'clock. And it is Shohei Ohtani against Nestor Cortez. That is about as good of a matchup you'll get. I know Garrett Cole on paper is probably more sexier, but Nestor's fun. The Yankees are minus 130. The Angels are plus 110. Over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 100. Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 164. For this game, I'm going to go first half result tie plus 450. I think it's going to be a well-pitched game today. Twins Tigers, Chris Archer and Alex Fado. Twins minus 134, Tigers plus 114, over under 8.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 122. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 146. tough one, but I'm going to go with, I'm going to go Twins. First half result, minus 105, but I do not feel strong about it. Rays Rangers at 2 o'clock. Corey Kluber and Taylor Hearn. So Kluber in the building where he threw the no-hitter last year. Rays are minus 124. Rangers plus 106. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Tampa minus 1.5 is plus 140. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 170. Oh, this is a hard one too. But I'm going to go first half run line Rays minus 1.5 plus 112. 3 o'clock, White Sox Blue Jays. Johnny Cueto and Alek Manoah. Blue Jays minus 190. White Sox plus 160 over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 138. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 115. For this one, I'm going to go with... this is a hard one. I'm going to go... Don't feel good about it, but full game under 8, minus 102. 6:30, Giants Marlins. Alex Wood and Sandy Alcantara. Marlins minus 134, Giants plus 114, over under 7. Overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 205. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. Nats Reds. Jonah Don and Graham Ashcart. Reds minus 134, Nats plus 114, over under 9.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 170, Reds minus 1.5 is plus 140. The total's high because of how bad Jonah Don is and the unknown of Ashcart. So I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to say first half total runs over 5.5 minus 102, but I do not feel good about this either. Game 2, Angels-Yankees. Reed Detmers and Jameson Taillon. I don't have any lines up on FanDuel yet. I assume New York's going to be favored, and they should be. Yes, minus 135. This is DraftKings. Angels plus 115, over under 8.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 135. Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 115. For this one, I'm going to go with the over 8.5 and minus 115. Only because Detmers outside the no-hitter has not been very good. Mariners-Orioles. Chris Flexen and Jordan Lyles. Mariners minus 120, Orioles plus 102, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 138, Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 166. For this one, I'm going to go first half results, Seattle plus 110. Padres Brewers at 7:30. Sean Manaea and Adrian Hauser, so second time these two teams are meeting. Brewers minus 120, Padres plus 102, over under 8.5. Overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 215. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going with the Padres at plus 102. They're a 49.4% chance to win according to ESPN Analytics. I'm going to go with the Padres. 8 o'clock, Cardinals Cubs from Wrigley. Matthew Liberatore and Keegan Thompson. Cubs minus 110, Cardinals minus 106, over under 8, minus 110 each way. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 152. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 184. I'm going to lay to minus 110 with the Cubs. They're 58.9% chance to win. And they're only minus 110. Give me the Cubs. 8:30, Braves Rockies. Ian Anderson and Austin Gomber. Braves minus 154, Rockies plus 130, over under 11.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Braves -1.5 is -102. Rockies +1.5 is -118. I'm taking the Rockies at +130. They're 46.9% chance, the ESPN Analytics, and +130. I think that's a good value. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Mets-Dodgers. Taijuan Walker and Tony Gonsolin. Dodgers -166, Mets +140, over under 8.5. Overs -115, unders -105. Mets +1.5 is -152. Dodgers -1.5 is +126. I like the under because Gonsolin's been amazing and the Dodgers aren't really hitting right now, so I like the under. All right, on to the WNBA. We'll recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to what we got going today. Dream over the Lynx, 84-76, and the Liberty over the Fever, 87-74. That was a big win for New York to get back on track a little bit. Only one game tonight. It's a great game. It's on Facebook. The 6-3 Connecticut Sun against the 9-1 Las Vegas Aces. So this should be a really good one from Vegas. Two fabulous teams. I think this is what I had as my finals pick before the season, amazingly enough. So this could be a finals preview. Aces -4.5, totals 167.5. That's a tough one. It's too juiced for me to bet the Vegas. So instead I'm going to go with the under 167.5 at -110. All right, now I'm going to move on to the French Open. I'll go over yesterday's results and look at the women's semifinal matches that will be going today. So yesterday with the men's, in the quarterfinal, 8-seed Casper Ruud over Holger Rune in 4 sets, and 20-seed Marin Cilic over 17 Andre Rublev in 5 sets. Women's results. Yesterday, 1-seed Iga Swiatek over 11-seed Jessica Pegula in 2 sets, and 20-seeded Daria Kasatkina over 29-seeded Veronika Kudermetova in 2 sets. Now we have the 2 semifinals is today. For the women's at 9 o'clock, we have 1-seed Iga Swiatek against 20-seeded Daria Kasatkina. For this match, I'm going to go with Iga Swiatek at 2-0 -280. I know it's the right pick. So I'll just lay to -6.5 with the game spread at +104. I did this yesterday, but just going to go over what I picked. And then at 10:15 this morning, you have Martina Trevisan and 18-seeded Coco Gauff in the other semifinal game. Gauff is -290. Trevisan is +230. And for set betting purposes, I'm going to go -110 with Coco Gauff 2-0. Coco's on a great run. It's going to be her against Iga. It's going to be a lot of fun over the weekend for the final. And then we're going to now look at the men's final a little bit. You have Nadal and Zverev in one semifinal, and the other one you have Ruud and Cilic. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to pick those on the podcast tomorrow. All right, now we're going to look at the early leaderboard for the Memorial Tournament. Tied for first with 1 under Adam Hadwin and Aaron Ray. Tied for third at even Cam Young, Danny Lee, Camilo Vegas, Jonathan Vegas, Nate Watney, Trey Merritt, Brendan Hagee, Adam Shake, Ryan Moore, Pat Perez, and Yerbon Lahiri. And tied for 14th with 1 over Patrick Rogers, Scott Stallings, Kramer Hickok, Adam Putnam, and Alex Smalley. So that's your early leaderboard for the Memorial Tournament. We're going to have a better idea of how this could go on tomorrow's show. All right, now I'm going to do my latest NBA mock draft. I'm going to breeze through this one because of time restrictions for today. All right, so this is my 5th mock draft, which should be a lot of fun. Number 1, the Orlando Magic. Jabari Smith, power forward, Auburn. You knew this was coming. This is probably going to be the pick. And he'd be a nice fit with Orlando. Number 2, Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet Holmgren, power forward, center, Gonzaga. This is probably going to be their pick as well. This is their dream scenario. Holmgren, SGA. Josh Giddey's a good young big 3. Number 3, the Houston Rockets. Paolo Banchero, power forward, center, Duke. This is probably to be expected as well. Banchero, Christian Wood, Alperen Sengun. Mixed thoughts about that big man lineup in the front court, but it could work. For Sacramento Kings, Jaden Ivey, point guard, shooting guard, Purdue. This would be an odd fit considering the Kings already have De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell. Unless the team opts to move one of the 2 point guards. Ivey is a super explosive player, but he lacks the distribution skills. Number 5, the Detroit Pistons. Keegan Murray, power forward, Purdue. The Pistons dropping to the 5th spot is not ideal, but it may not be a complete disaster, as they have a few viable options. Murray's a nice fit here, but he could be a fun pick and pop partner for Cade Cunningham with his shooting ability. 6, Indiana Pacers. A.J. Griffin, small forward, Duke. The Pacers have some options here, and I like the thought of Griffin here considering the Pacers need for a forward. Griffin had a fine year for the Blue Devils, and he could come in and provide some good shooting and athleticism. 7, the Portland Trail Blazers. Sheldon Sharp, shooting guard, Kentucky. I love this possible choice for the Blazers, who need the shooting to replace C.J. McCollum. Sharp didn't play at Kentucky, but can shoot the lights out of the ball. 8, the New Orleans Pelicans from the Los Angeles Lakers. Benedict Mathurin, shooting guard, small forward, Arizona. This would be a nice pick for the Pelicans, who add depth on the wing. Mathurin really broke out in a big way last year and is your classic 3-and-D wing that teams will covet. 9, the San Antonio Spurs. Jalen Duren, center, Memphis. The Spurs have some options here with their selection, and they should have their eyes on a big with their first of 3 picks. Duren has double-double potential, and he would fit nicely with this newer Spurs young core they have. 10, the Washington Wizards. Johnny Davis, shooting guard, Wisconsin. This would be a very interesting pick for the Wizards since Bradley Beal is the face of trade rumors. Davis is a very selfless player, and even if the Wizards were to keep Beal, he and Davis would be a fun pair together on the perimeter. Number 11, the New York Knicks. Dyson Daniels, shooting guard, G League Ignite. This might be a somewhat of a reach for the Knicks if this was the selection, but Daniels has been a fast riser of late. People are skeptical of Daniels due to his shooting numbers, but he's a solid defender and gets to the basket. 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder from the Los Angeles Clippers. Osame Dieng, small forward, France. This pick would be a major reach for the Thunder. A player like Dieng is someone that the Thunder should be targeting, though. Dieng was inconsistent in the NBL, but has tremendous upside with the shot making and ball handling. 13, the Charlotte Hornets. Jeremy Schoen, small forward, power forward, Baylor. This would be a very interesting pick for the Hornets, who have an abundance of forwards. Schoen is someone that really showed off an elite skill set this past year with the Bears. 14, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ochai Ajayi, shooting guard, Kansas. This would be an interesting selection for the Cavaliers, who could use some depth on the wing. Agbaji really put himself in a good position to return to school and won the Most Outstanding Player award in the tournament to be a first-rounder. 15, the Charlotte Hornets from the New Orleans Pelicans. Mark Williams, center, Duke. The third Duke player in this mock I have going to Charlotte. The Hornets badly need a center, and Williams is someone who had a great tournament in which his stock rose, but he doesn't have high upside. 16, the Atlanta Hawks. Tari Eason, power forward, LSU. The Hawks are a real candidate to trade their first-round selection because they want that second star to go with Trae Young. Eason had a breakout year for the Tigers and is an excellent defender, but has some offensive flaws. 17, Houston Rockets from the Brooklyn Nets. Ty Washington, point guard, shooting guard, Kentucky. Washington falling all the way to here would be a major steal for the Rockets, The fit here would be interesting to go with Jalen Green in the backcourt, and he could play with or without the ball. 18, the Chicago Bulls. Malachi Branham, shooting guard, small forward, Ohio State. I personally think the Bulls are unknown in terms of the draft, but here I have them getting depth on the wing. Branham could shoot it from 3 and gets into the paint often. 19, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nikola Jovic, power forward, Serbia. The T-Wolves going with Jovic here would be very interesting. He is the safest bet in terms of international players in this draft, and he's your classic point forward type of player that does a little bit of everything. 20, the San Antonio Spurs from the Toronto Raptors. Jalen Williams, shooting guard, Santa Clara. With their second of 3 first-rounders, I have the Spurs going with Williams, who I think could be a solid bench player and is a fast riser of late. He has a ton of potential to be a 3 and D wing here, and can even play some point. 21, the Denver Nuggets. Kennedy Chandler, point guard, Tennessee. This would be a nice pick for the Nuggets, who are aiming to be back in the NBA title contention next season. If it wasn't for poor measurements, Chandler could have been a lottery pick through his other attributes. 22, the Memphis Grizzlies from the Utah Jazz. Jaden Hardy, shooting guard, G League Unite. This would be an interesting pick for the Grizzlies, who are going to be among the possible contenders for next season. Hardy is a player that didn't live up to the hype with Unite, but has a ton of potential that he could unlock. 23, the Philadelphia 76ers. E.J. Little, power forward, Ohio State. Yes, the Sixers have their pick again because Brooklyn deferred it. So the Nets chose to defer this pick to 2023, which has a ton about how they may feel about the 76ers next season. So there's pressure on Philly to nail this pick. Little is somebody that is a little bit older, but improved each and every year at Ohio State. 24, the Milwaukee Bucks. Walker Kessler, center, Auburn. This would be an interesting pick and potentially a long-term replacement for Brook Lopez. Kessler is an absolute monster defensively in the paint and blocks shots like there's no tomorrow. 25, the San Antonio Spurs from the Boston Celtics. Jake LaRavia, power forward, Wake Forest. With their third first, they take a fast-rising player in LaVaria. He has a good aspects of the game and can shoot the 3-ball well, which bodes well for today's NBA. 26, the Dallas Mavericks. Marjon Beauchamp, shooting guard, G League Ignite. The third player from this loaded G League Ignite team I have is Beauchamp. He's a really good scorer, and he could be a heat check guy for the Mavericks, who could end up being in contention next season as long as Luka Doncic stays healthy. 27, the Miami Heat. Dalen Terry, point guard, shooting guard, Arizona. The Heat are definitely looking at point guards with this pick, or preferably in a trade, as they try to get younger and better at the position. Terry is somebody that has great character on and off the court, as he fits Heat culture. 28, the Golden State Warriors. Wendell Moore Jr., shooting guard, small forward, Duke. The Warriors are a strong candidate to trade out of the spot. Moore had his best season as a junior after being thought out as a lottery pick 2 years ago, so this could be a steal. 29, the Memphis Grizzlies. Kendall Brown, small forward, Baylor. Brown falling to the end of the first round would be a steal for the Grizzlies. Brown can come off the bench and provide solid play and has the athleticism to succeed. And number 30, the Oklahoma City Thunder from the Phoenix Suns. Blake Wesley, shooting guard, Notre Dame. I can see the Thunder trying to move back up into the teens and using this pick with either a current player or a future pick. Wesley is a raw player that really didn't impress much in college, but is unafraid to score. Alright, so there you have it for my latest NBA mock draft. Now I'm going to do news and notes for today. So Frank Gore to retire as a 49er, as he'll sign a one-day contract to retire with the 49ers today. So congrats to Frank Gore, one of the more underrated running backs of my lifetime, I would say. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady hold off late rally from Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen at the Capital One's The Match. So, good job on Rodgers and Brady. I said yesterday that I thought they would win. Sad news, Marion Barber passes away at the age of 38 as he was found dead in his apartment by Texas police on Wednesday. So, this is cool. John Madden will be on the cover of Madden 23, as he'll be on the cover of the game for the first time since 2000. That's awesome. That's a really awesome way to honor him. Drew Timme returns to Gonzaga. That is great news for them as he's back for his senior season. That gives that team a big boost. Tommy Pham calls out Mike Trout as he jokingly blames his fantasy league commissioner for the drama with Jock Peterson. And then Mike Trout had to answer some tough questions. The San Diego Padres released Robinson Cano after batting .094 in 11 games. Yikes. He's washed, Robinson Cano. Absolutely washed. And he's still getting paid. Bobby Shmurda was at the Rangers game yesterday as the rapper trolls the Lightning fans behind him at the Garden after the Game 1 win. You're going to be seeing a lot of celebrities at the Garden. And speaking of the Eastern Conference Finals, John Cooper doubts that Braden Point will return during the Eastern Conference Finals. He says temper expectations, because there's some rumors that he may come back when the series shifts to Tampa for 3 and 4. There's rumors if there's a Game 7 that he may come back. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe he's being mum because of the rumors, and they don't. They want to catch the Rangers by surprise potentially here. Marcus Smart says that the 2018 Celtics would have beaten the Warriors if they got back LeBron's cap. So that Celtics team is really good. That was the Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Smart, Tatum Brown, Horford. Like, that team was loaded. And they couldn't get by a weak Cleveland team. That's because the Celtics always played well against Golden State in the past. But I'm not sure, because that was peak Golden State with Durant. And 2 non-sports news is jury rules in favor of Johnny Depp as they rule Amber Heard defamed ex-husband. So Johnny Depp gets justice, so that is really good for him. And a very quiet, but not so quiet story, but I don't think it's getting a lot of attention for some reason. Maybe because they don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but the monkeypox case, the monkeypox outbreak has kind of been like a side story on the news of late, but 2 more people test positive for monkeypox in New York City. So New York City has 4 total positive monkeypox cases. But luckily, people are saying that this isn't going to be like COVID in terms of a global pandemic. So that's a good thing. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. This is a hard one for tonight, but I'm going to do it. I don't think it's my favorite of all favorites, but it's just a lot of fun. I'm going over 7.5 even money, or I'm sorry, plus 104. laying a unit on over 7.5 between the Oilers and the Avs. Like, you just got to do it at this point. The Oilers are just an offensive machine, and so are the Avs, and Darcy Kemper might not play. And even if he does play, like, this could be a 5-3 game, and the last goal of the game's empty net. It's like over 7.5 between the Oilers and the Avalanche for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow with the big Friday show. Golf, NASCAR, French Open, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, Eastern and Western Conference Finals, baseball, WNBA, Major League Soccer, news and notes, and best bets. That's your usually Friday show. And I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.